Hi everybody, I'm Tim Derling. This is Tim's Vinyl Confessions, once again, another episode, and I thank you so much for watching. Love the feedback. Last couple episodes I've been getting some really good feedback on, and I really do try to respond, or at least acknowledge every comment that comes in, so thank you very much for that. This one's fun for me because it's two of my favorite things. Anybody that knows me knows that I collect 8 tracks, and you also know, if you've ascertained by the name of this channel, that I'm a huge fan of Kansas. So this is my Kansas 8-track episode. And I haven't done an 8-track episode in a long time, but this collection is what I describe as complete plus. In other words, it's complete as far as all of the albums that were released to retail in 8-track form, plus a bonus. But it's not complete as far as having all of the Kansas 8 tracks. So we'll get started here. Debut album from 1974, self-titled. Not bad shape. This one has a little bit of a bubbling, which happens, but not bad. Typical CBS 8-track, sort of a darkish gray color. Probably not an original. This is probably a later 70s issue. I really don't know. But I do know that before they were the gray 8 tracks, they were red like this one. Song for America, second Kansas album, 1975. The way that the title and band name is written a little bit different than the album. They would take some liberties with 8 tracks as far as the cover art. Sometimes a lot of liberties. I actually think they compressed this a little bit because it doesn't have the classic logo on it like it's supposed to. But anyway, obviously these are on Kirshner, CBS Records. This one has a sticker on it, 30-day warranty. Do not remove this sticker. Purchase date, June 21st, 1975, which means this is purchased. This is probably an original. This was purchased then because the album came out first half of 1975. That makes this pretty cool. It's one of the cool things with picking up used things. Every once in a while you get a little glimpse into the, the age of the voyage this thing is taken to get into my hands. Also in 1975, the second Kansas album, Mask. This one's a little worse for wear, but, tolerable. It's bubbled to the point where, the color's separated and there's a white streak down here. And again, a little bit of, they changed some things about the way that it was written on the original cover. You can compare that with a vinyl or a CD version. You don't buy the 8 tracks to get, the full effect of the artwork, that's for sure. But not bad. Couple of Canadian ones here. Obviously one of the most common Kansas albums to find in any format, Left Overture. Interestingly, this says Columbia, not Kirshner, yet it has the Kirshner logo on it. It's all CBS, but just those little things that I noticed that are a little bit different. That's great, cover art, no matter how you look at it. As is the next one, 1977, the second most common or equally as common Kansas album, Point of No Return. This is also a Canadian edition. Easy to tell, easy to spot the difference between the a US counterpart of it. 1978, double live album. 2 for the show. Artwork is exactly as it's supposed to be here. It's a little bit heavier, weight-wise, because, it's a double live album, so there's literally twice as much tape on here. This was obviously a cutout at one time. There's a little hole punched in there, which is kind of weird. And there's the back of it. Another US one here, 1979, and Monolith. Love this album art. Actually used the Kansas logo for the first time on the side, which I love that logo too. Not the easiest thing to read, but the way they've got it printed there. Also got it stylized on the back here too. And a fair amount of wear and tear as far as, bubbling and stuff goes. Pretty hard to avoid, but. Next is the very first Kansas album that I had on anything, I think. And definitely the first one I heard all the way through. And I got this about 4 years before it even was released on CD, because it didn't normally. When they first put the Kansas albums out on CD, they didn't put this one out for some reason and a couple of others. It's Audiovision. It's one of my favorite Kansas albums, 1980. This is another Canadian one. And by now, It does say Kirshner on here. So I'm used to hearing the songs on this album in the order that they are here, which is not the album order, which is kind of funny. The last retail Kansas 8-track, 1982, the namesake of this channel. Of course, I'm talking about Vinyl Confessions. I have never liked the way they print the logo out here, but talked about that at length before. The last time I talked about it was on the Contrarians with Marco, debating Kansas. Check that out. Always a blast sitting in with those guys. Once again, they actually reprinted the logo. And there you go, 1982, the first year that, large scale 8-tracks appeared in retail stores, of course. From 1983 onwards, we're talking strictly RCO, record club only. I've never actually seen 1983's Drastic Measures on 8-track. I don't know why it wouldn't have come out as an RCO, at least on a Columbia House, because Columbia House was owned by CBS Records, their current label. So it's probably out there, but I can't say for sure because I've never ever seen a copy of it. But it's probably out there. Don't know that. And the one I do know about that I don't have is a Columbia House version of 1984's The Best of Kansas, which kind of finished off their CBS career. That is out there as an RCO. You can see that on Discogs. Very hard to find, and I don't have it. But I'm happy to say that I do have this. Tied with Audiovision's is my favorite Kansas album, Power, 1986. This was the first of 2 for MCA. This was the very last Kansas album to come out on 8-track, so this is an RCA Music Service version. If you're familiar with the way that their 8-tracks look, they look very much like this most of the time. And I don't have a lot of 8-tracks from 1986, so we're getting close to the end at this point. And as far as I know, that's it for Kansas on 8-track, and any chance I have to talk about this band, I do. Still really enjoying their last studio album, 2020's The Absence of Presence, and their excellent double live album, Point of No Return Live and Beyond, both of which have episodes dedicated to them here on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. If you search Tim's Vinyl Confessions Kansas, you'll find a lot of episodes. Make sure and include my name in there. Make sure you put Tim's. Otherwise, you're just going to get the Play the Game Tonight video and Kansas Vinyl Confession stuff, which is great. But if you want to see my episodes, make sure and put my name in there too. Thank you, everyone, as always, for watching Tim's Vinyl Confessions.